What is good, you guys? It is time to do another budget build done for real. So today, I'm going to finally disclose the budget and everything. Unless you were a follower on Twitter, then you might have seen some of the random posts I put, and one of them did have the price as well as the resolution and everything that I was aiming at to play. So what if I told you guys I wanted to build a extremely high-end computer? Ooh. Now what if I said that I wanted to build a high-end computer for $350. Now what if I said that $350 would get me into playing games at 1440p and maxing out pretty much every title at 1080p?
Yeah, fucking right, loser.
Well, that's exactly what I did here today. Now, it might not be the highest of highest, and it might not be the mediumist of mediumist, but it definitely games pretty freaking hard. And if you guys have been watching the vlogs, then you know some of the components I've already put in there. So this is the computer right here, hooked up to a crossover 1440p monitors. You guys know I upgraded and got myself the Acer 144Hz. So let's hustle out the price and the overall components in this build. So the total price that I was able to get this for was $329, so under $350. And if you want, you can include a $200 monitor I was able to pick up, the 1440p, and we could even go say that $550, throw in your copy of Windows, so under $700 with a mouse and keyboard. I basically was able to put together a 1440p gaming setup, but we're just going to mainly talk about the computer. So under $350, the first thing that I got was a CPU, motherboard, and RAM combo. It came with 8 gigs of 1866 memory. Patriot, I believe, is the maker of that memory. The motherboard is an Asus M5A97LE R2.0, and it came with an FX 6300. So I was able to get all that for $80. It did come with a stock cooler, but that moves us on to our next part, which is the CPU cooler. I was able to pick up an Enermax CPU cooler. I don't even remember the name, but it's in the vlog, and I'll probably poke something up above my dome that tells you guys exactly what it is. But the local Fry's Electronics in my area had a sale on it for $9 plus tax, so about $10 for that cooler. And so far it's an amazing cooler, and I really do like it. It keeps this computer extremely silent. Next we have the graphics card. Once again, if you guys were watching the vlogs and or on Twitter, you saw that I was able to go pick up a GTX 970 MSI. It's more of the reference design, but nonetheless it is still a full, true, tried 3.5 to 4 gig memory buffer GTX 970, and it does put in work, as we'll see from the benchmarks coming up soon. And I was able to pick that up for $150 from a guy off Craigslist. Next are the hard drives. Once again, I did throw this in the vlog that I went and picked up a 500 gig. I decided to go back and grab another 500 gig. This time it was a laptop hard drive. So first one we have is a Seagate Pipeline, I believe, 500 gigabyte hard drive, 7200 RPM or 5400, I don't really remember. And then the other one was a Western Digital Blue laptop hard drive, 500 gigabytes. And I threw both of those in RAID 0 to give me that extra oomph. And I believe it or not, it is a good amount faster. It's not an SSD, but it is a good amount faster than just using your single hard drive, putting 2 mechanical drives in RAID 0. I was going to make a video on it, but it basically would have been like a 30-second video of me saying, put them in RAID 0, it's actually pretty worth it. So we have 1 terabyte of space total. Hard drive space and stuff is always expandable in the future, so don't mind. With the $20 total for $10 for each drive for 1 terabyte of space. And like I said, it's a decent amount faster, pulling around 200 read and write, and it boots up a lot quicker than it did with 1 drive, which is why I actually went and picked up the second one, because I really used to SSD, so any computer without an SSD just seems really sluggish. And for another $10, I could have just, technically doubled its speed. So we went with that. We have 1 terabyte of mixed hard drives in RAID 0. Next is the case, which is a Enermax Ostrog, pretty much the lowest model that they have. It does have a, tinted case window. No USB 3.0 on it, but the motherboard does not have any USB 3.0 headers. That's a good thing. 2.0 only at the front, which works because it's compatible with the motherboard. I was able to pick this up for $34 off of newegg.com, brand new, just ordered it, had it shipped to me. I could have definitely went out and bought some cheap, crappy ATX case for like 10 or 20 bucks, but because I was already so low on the budget and hitting the performance I wanted, I decided to spend a little bit extra and get a, decent case for $35, and of course brand new. So it came with all the goodies and stuff, and overall it looks pretty clean. I think I like it. Pretty fresh. Last but not least, we have the power supply, which is a refurbished EVGA 500, just 80 plus I believe, power supply, which I was able once again to pick up from Newegg refurbished for $35. And it works just fine. I've read up on the forums, because I've never owned a GTX 970, believe it or not, so I've never had one, never tested one, never messed around with one. So I was kind of curious on the power consumption. So I was always looking up on forums. You were getting a lot of people saying that 500 watts from a decent power supply is enough. And then some people saying, no, you want more. And some people saying don't use crappy power supplies, which I always suggest never using a crappy power supply. But if you guys are curious on what the system's pull was during gaming and Unigen Heaven and Valley benchmarks, it was hitting about 390 watts max from the wall. So that's really, really, really low. You know what I mean? You could probably get away with a decent 450 watt, 430 watt. And if you were to strap out, you know, taking the fact that it does have an FX 6300 CPU in there, if you were to take that out and put in an i7 or i5 or something with a lower TDP, especially a Skylake, you could definitely lower the overall power consumption there. But that puts our total budget build at about $329, give or take $1 or $2 that I might have missed. I believe I added the shipping and everything for the case into its price. So overall, under $350, and it's a beast. So roll the benchmarks and just kind of show it's a beast. So there you have it, you guys. $350, technically less than that, but we'll call it $350 just because, you know, prices do vary. But if you guys are hunting the sales like I was and keeping an eye out and knowing what you're looking for, knowing how much you could get away with paying with something, obviously you don't want to completely lowball someone. The guy that was selling the 970, he actually had it posted for $150. Luckily, I was just the first one to hit him up, and he was a nice guy. I wouldn't hold anything for someone on Crysis, but he told me he'd hold it for me till I got off work. So that was very nice of him. But he also pulled the ad down and stuff like that. Once again, I don't do that for people because you get a lot of flakes on Craigslist. Luckily, I am not one of the flakes, so lucky for him that worked out because I came and picked it up ASAP. But you usually see the 970s going for around $190 to $220. You can buy them brand new for $220. When I look at someone's pricing and they want $200, I'd be like $20 more and I could get a brand new one from Newegg with all the warranties that's never been plugged into a system. So why, you know what I mean? So overall, $150 is a decent price. It's not, it is a good price, but it's not like a super steal because the graphics card brand new is only about $70 more, which isn't really too much for a used GPU, especially because it's not one of the aftermarket ones. It's just one of the reference style coolers. But overall, this PC rips ass on everything. 1080p, 1440p does not matter whatsoever. So there will be more budget builds in the future, you guys. I'm going to try to keep doing it, but it's very time consuming, if you guys don't know, between making the vlogs as well as meeting people. I mean, every day after work for like a week straight, I was meeting someone on Craigslist to look at parts. But I want to start another type of segment as well. And let me know if you guys want to see this. Basically, it's just going to be me going through maybe once a week, once a month, going through deals and saving up a little bit of footage here and there of me looking through deals and just showing you guys what I find, how to find it, where to find it, and maybe even go in depth as how to talk to these people and pricing and stuff like that. Overall, what to look for. Especially in Craigslist ads, it can be a little iffy. A lot of times people don't like doing that. So maybe let me know if you guys want to see segments on that. I might start like my own little series and do a few episodes, you know, once every couple weeks, upload an episode of me finding all these ridiculous deals. For instance, this Acer 144 27-inch 1440p monitor IPS panel. I was able to buy that for $200. If you guys don't know, that monitor is like a $700 monitor. And like I said, found it for $250, talked the guy down to $200. So if you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely try and work out some form of series where we go through that stuff. And in the meantime, though, I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day off because it's already late. Actually, I'm gonna edit this video. Who the fuck am I kidding? But yeah, super budget. Hashtag sale ninja. Hashtag deals only. I'll catch you guys later.